What's up, guys, and welcome to the 2025 Movie Cavalcade. I know it's a bit late to the table, but there haveth been many a kerfuffles as of late. As per usual, I'm reviewing these movies in 2025 based on their Swedish release dates. So some movies are technically from 2024, but since I couldn't include them in last year's Cavalcade, I'm putting them here. So, let's get right in. Nosferatu. Robert Eggers does it again. Nosferatu is a remake of the earliest surviving movie adaptation of the novel Dracula. Eggers really cranks it up in this adaptation. His movies are full of sexual themes, and Nosferatu, i.e. Dracula, is full of that stuff, so I get why Eggers has been wanting to do this movie for years. It is definitely a passion project of his, so he brings his A-game and spins it into a sort of science versus nature sort of deal. The two previous adaptations have had Count Orlok simply see a photograph of Ellen and be like, she'll do. This time around, they have a past. So for example, in Coppola's Dracula, it's a lot more romanticized, with the Ellen/Mina character being a reincarnation of Dracula's old lost love. In this one, it's a lot more darker, a lot more carnal. She was a deviant in her younger days and made a deal with the devil to satiate her lust, and now the devil has come to collect, more or less. Count Orlok is the embodiment of sin, with lust being one of the big seven. Things start to spiral out of control. The female lead, Ellen, played by Lily Rose Depp, puts on a great performance, and in the end, she gets to conquer her demon her way. And I really enjoyed that spin.
I thought it was artistically, tastefully done. I thought it was a well-done sequence.
And we got to talk about the titular character. Bill Skarsgård delivers another iconic horror performance. Max Schreck is iconic and scary for sure. Klaus Kinski has this sickly yet sinister aura around him with a very raspy voice. Bill Skarsgård blows them both away with a full-on demon. His vocals are fucking insane.
It is a black omen to journey in poor health.
It is off to a great start with the first movie of 2025 being a contender for Best Movie 2025, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. This movie was released all the way back in April 2024. It's full of fun characters, cool energetic action scenes. My only real problem with the movie is how cartoony it feels. Easily dispatching hundreds or so Nazis so casually.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
I adore casual extreme violence in movies. But in this movie, they stealthily kill like 50 people left and right without breaking a sweat. It lowers the stakes when the good guys hardly feel like anything is an obstacle. It could have been handled with a bit more finesse. And the villain was very weak. I love the aura they tried to build around him, that anything worse than a Nazi, he is it. But he never really does anything. In summary, it's a fun movie if you want to kill 2 hours, but it doesn't stick with you for long. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. It's pretty good. Aardman still got it after all these years. This is the second feature-length film, but I still feel like the classic short movies beat it. Not much else to say, it's perfectly good fun. The Brutalist. It stars Adrian Brody as Laszlo Toth, a Hungarian architect who arrives in a post-war America after surviving the Buchenwald concentration camp. He tries to build a new life with his wife and niece when a mysterious wealthy benefactor offers him the project of a lifetime. I don't want to spoil more than that. The movie had really nice cinematography, being shot on 70mm, and the performances were amazing. Adrian deserved that Oscar. At least they got that one right. Both Guy Pearce and Felicity Jones were also amazing. But to be honest, the overall experience felt sour and pretentious.
It insists upon itself, Lois.
There are scenes in the movie I thought were extremely good, but they needed to trim a lot of fat. I get it, the artist doesn't want to slash his canvas, but if I sit down and watch a 3.5 hour long movie, I expect to be blown away by a cinematic masterpiece of divine proportions. I want to like it, I really do, but I can't recommend it. Check it out if you're curious, but don't get your hopes up. A Complete Unknown. I liked it. I've never been that much into Bob Dylan, so a character piece on him didn't really interest me, but James Mangold has done several bangers, except that god-awful Indiana Jones movie, but I never really blamed him for that. Lucasfilm should have left well enough alone. Anyhow, I felt like I wanted to give Mandel a chance to redeem himself, and I feel like he did. The film is well executed in most aspects. The performances were stellar, especially Timothée Chalamet and Edward Norton. There were some moments that I felt that you have to be a Bob Dylan fan to really get, but I got the gist of it. It's a pretty good movie. Mickey 17. Bong Joon-ho. His last movie was a masterpiece, so naturally I was extremely hyped for this movie. Then I saw it. Yeah, no, this ain't it. I guess he hit his one-hit wonder with Parasite. Mickey 17 is just pretentious garbage. I like most aspects of sci-fi. It's a genre that is the most open to experimental concepts, and you can pretty much do anything with it. When it's a film that really interests me, and especially when it's a director that I enjoy behind it, I usually stay far away from trailers, promotional materials, and leaks as much as I can. I want to go in as blank as possible. What I thought I was getting was a cool sci-fi movie with the concept of cloning, expendable workers, and a deep dive into the concept of value of one's life, and yada yada. What I got was essentially a poor man's attempt at The Sixth Sense, without the action and charisma, but instead just political bile all over. There are flashes of good stuff in there, and Robert Pattinson does as well as he can, but the overall experience reeks of missed potential and bad satire. The whole thing lacks a fucking point. And holy fuck, Mark Ruffalo, he manages to push this movie down several pegs all on his own. He is that bad. His one stick for the whole movie is just doing Orange Man bad. Fuck this movie. James Gunn's Superman. First, the highs. The casting. Almost everyone felt right for their part, except for maybe Shira Hall. Superman himself, although a different take on Superman, still feels like the Man of Steel. The idea of starting the movie by dropping you 3 years into his career is great. I got it. I know who fucking Superman is. Now the lows. The movie is a mess. They threw everything at the wall and went with what sticks, essentially. The plot was all over the place. The tone was your typical James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy slop. How am I supposed to enjoy the cool moments? When they do come, they are almost immediately undercut by either a corny slapstick or cape shit humor joke. They could have chilled a little bit with the stakes as well. Metropolis is once again completely obliterated. It's like blowing up that city is what it takes to get some tension. Just get a bomb, strap Lois Lane to it, and place it on top of the Daily Planet. That's all I need. No, let's open a fucking interdimensional rift and slice the continent in half. There is no fucking way the city was evacuated in time, but they play it off like everyone got out, no problem. Millions should be dead at this point. Then, oh no, the rift reaches to the next block over, it's gonna be bad, because there are people there.
It's gonna reach Baker Line any minute. There are people there.
This mini-rant has been a long time coming. The real Superman was a product of his time. Truth, justice, and the American way and all that. Something I really think factors into the superhero fatigue we're all feeling is how the power creep of not just the characters, but the plots as well. I remember it being amazing that Superman could lift a car over his head or wrestle wild animals with ease. Of course, he became overpowered way back in the 60s, but that's not my point. My point is that these movies cater to us as if we need to see half the planet sliced up to feel tension. I just miss when he was a war criminal, man. All the pieces of the puzzle are there. Either the complete picture isn't very nice, or it was assembled incorrectly. I vote for the latter. Captain America vs. Clifford's Giant Cock. Really underwhelming movie. MCU is still running on fumes, it's been said 1,000 times. Anthony Mackie is great, as the Falcon. A Captain America he is not. Don't care enough to summarize. Emilia Perez.
Men to woman, or woman to men.
Man to woman.
From penis to vagina. Adam's apple reduction.
Yes.
I'm not fucking touching that movie with a 10-foot pole. The copious amounts of copium pumping through the Academy Awards when this stuff gets 13 Oscar nominations, winning 2, while Dune Part 2 got 5 Oscar nominations, winning 2. Dune Part 2 soundtrack couldn't be nominated because of a technicality, since a lot of the soundtrack was reused from Part 1, but there were great original tracks in there, like Kiss the Ring and oh my god, Harkonnen Arena. Whatever, I somehow managed to spin a movie about a transvestite drug lord into Dune. Lilo and Stitch, the live-action remake. Watch the original, it's perfect the way it is. They add shit that doesn't need adding, they take out shit that didn't need taking out. And oh my god, the marketing for this movie was insane. Yeah, they did the same when the original was about to be released. It was a stroke of genius to give him sort of a meta gremlin power through the marketing. But Stitch is a well-established character now, it just feels hollow and disingenuous. As my last point, the ending trashes the whole point of the movie. Of course it made bank at the box office, so get ready for whatever they're going to milk next. Fucking Bambi? How about Aristocats? Haven't done that one yet, fuck me! Let's get the butthole cut of Aristocats!
That was a deep cut.
How to Train Your Dragon live action. Same thing here, just watch the original, it's perfect. I'm glad that there is still love for this franchise, but Jesus Christ, people, stop throwing your hard-earned cash at these absolute scams of movies. As long as you pay, they will pump them out. The Minecraft movie. After obliterating Snow White at the box office...
Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
Nah, screw that noise. It's low-effort garbage. Do better. Even better, it started off that god-awful chicken jockey trend, as if movie theaters weren't getting trashed as it is.
They are dying. Let them die.
Fantastic Four, First Steps. I would say everything works. It's not great, not terrible. They finally pulled the brakes on the dreaded Marvel humor. It's still there to some degree, but my god, it's refreshing to have less of it. It just goes down so much easier without it. Less is more, as they say. Everything is done passable. I just have a hard time praising the good due to all the shit that's been spewed out recently. There wasn't much that ticked me off, just perfectly okay superhero fun, where the focus is on character and story. And a fun thing here, they explain the origin of the Fantastic Four in a way smoother way, in a way Superman should have done, in my opinion. Thunderbolts. Boring, no effort, John Walker is the butt end of all jokes. I couldn't take away much else from the movie except that here is an interesting character who stands on business, and the whole movie is spent shitting on him.
Pretty ludicrous coming from the dime store Captain America.
I'll have you know I was actually the official Captain America, so...
Yeah, for like 2 seconds. Before you publicly murdered an innocent man on the street.
What the fuck? Justice for John Walker when? Frågetecken. And sure, I guess the Void was kinda cool too, but the movie is still shit. Forgettable shit. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. I love the MI franchise. Great action, great stunts, just classic spy thriller fun. It has had its ups and downs. 1 is great, 2 is complete garbage, 3 is good, 4 and 5 are great, 6 is fucking fantastic, and 7 is kinda undercooked. Now we have come to the 8th installment, or part 2 of 7, how you wanna look at it. It delivers classic old-fashioned action fun, as can be expected with a Tom Cruise production. He kinda stands on business in that regard. There are problems with it. The villain Gabriel was kinda weak in part 1, and he doesn't get much better here. In fact, he gets worse. He does what he's supposed to do, but he remains very one-dimensional. He can apparently pull high-yield nuclear weapons out of his ass. In the 6th movie, the whole plot is about 3 stolen plutonium cores being a big deal. Here the villain just has not 1, but 2 nukes out of nowhere. It's whatever. He goes out like a complete chump as well.
Good luck!
He's not taken seriously, other by the characters telling you to take him seriously. I again refer back to Mission Impossible 6. Henry Cavill's character is a terrifying villain, and he goes out after a brutal final fight. The other villain, the AI, known as the Entity, didn't really do much. The potential was there. They mention how it distorts information and stokes conflicts around the globe. Very topical indeed, but in the end it boils down to humanity bad must nuke. And it apparently has followers. It makes no sense at all. Wouldn't it have been sweeter for the AI to manipulate, say, other agencies or organizations to do its bidding? Instead it comes off as, praise our new machine ruler. They did this really awesome thing where the CIA must convert everything to analog format in order to stay ahead of the Entity, who can see everything digital. What a cool way to sort of revert back to both Cold War era tech and concepts, but they hardly do anything with it. The reason tensions were so high back then was first of all because of ideological differences, but also the lack of communication. You could have definitely played more into that aspect. I'm still pissed off that Rebecca Ferguson's character was killed off and Hayley Atwell taking her place. Grace is nowhere near as interesting a character as Ilsa Faust. The stunts and sets are amazing. One underwater sequence in the middle of the film really stood out, as well as the final chase. In the end, I will still say that I enjoyed it. I will come back for a rewatch eventually, but it's not among the finer ones in the franchise, that's for sure. The Phoenician Scheme. More Wes Anderson. It was good enough. His humor is still on point. It felt kind of hoppy. If you've seen a Wes Anderson movie before, I think you would enjoy this one as well. But if it's your first, I would recommend something else to start with to not put you off. Otherwise, it was perfectly fine and entertaining. Formula 1.
Finally, some good fucking food.
This movie is a perfect return to form. Joseph Kosinski has done it again. He is starting to resurrect what a true popcorn summer blockbuster should be. After the popcorn epic that was Top Gun Maverick, which in my opinion was the #1 movie of 2022, Formula 1 comes out swinging. And yeah, I had a really good time with this one. This is what the standard should be. But in this day and age, I take what I can get. It's a pretty damn awesome movie. There is nothing much new here. It is your typical sort of buddy cop-esque movie where two different people, both with something to prove, are forced to work together and resolve their differences. Well, as the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's entertaining, highly octane fun. Great movie. Weapons. Horror movies are almost always low-risk investments for the studio. They are quick and easy to make and don't cost that much to produce, so they are seldom worth one's time. Weapons, however, was a really interesting mystery plot that culminates in a brutal finale. It was neatly shot with a pleasant color grading, and the cast was great, and they really brought interesting characters alive. I don't want to reveal much about the movie. I went in completely blind, and that really helped the experience, so I highly suggest you check it out. Star Trek, Section 31. Where do I even begin? I guess welcome to my annual shitting on the absolute cancer of a man that is Alex Kurtzman. The amount of weird camera work and editing is vertigo-inducing, and so many fucking snap zooms.
Elton, I'm gonna say never laugh. She's got...
Soon as I said it. Man,
It's the Guardians of the Galaxy Suicide Squad formula about a rough, tough team of rogues and their shenanigans. Fuck me, has this been done to death. Like, I low-key hate on Rick Berman at times, because he had checked out when they made those awful TNG movies, but he had his shit together in the 90s. He was a great producer and steered the ship into a golden age of Star Trek. He multitasked so many Star Trek productions at once, it's insane. And I would take any Rick Berman production over Alex Kurtzman, even fucking Nemesis, any day of the week. An isolinear supercomputer calculating for a century wouldn't even fathom the amount of contempt I hold for this man. But he delivers fast and under budget, so they keep him around. Sinners. Pretty good. It recaptures the magic team-up that was Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan from the first Creed movie. And those who know me know I praise the hell out of that movie. Everything is executed really well. In the hands of a different director, I could easily see this screenplay turn into pretentious slop. We'll probably need a while before I rewatch it, but there is definitely something in there. It's being blown up as a freaking masterpiece, which it is not, but definitely worth a watch. Frankenstein. Perfectly fine adaptation of the book. Oscar Isaacs made a great Dr. Frankenstein, and my god, Jacob Elordi as the monster was so good. So, to get 3 Universal monster movie remakes in 2025, I'm counting Nosferatu as well, even though it's its own thing, it's still a remake of Dracula, and 2 of them being not complete dog shit, but actually be good movies, is a damn miracle. No other choice. Park Chan-wook cooked here. First of all, it's fantastically shot. You feel that he wanted to actually make something here. It's very fast-paced, skipping over bits and pieces here and there. It felt janky at first. It's skimming that very fine edge very well, and once you get that the movie isn't here to waste your time, especially for a movie that's 2.5 hours, then it's very much appreciated. So in the end, highly recommend. 28 years later. Pretty competent post-apocalypse fun. Definitely a more worthy sequel than 28 weeks later. The cast is great. There are some creative flair in the movie, hard to describe. It's mostly present in the first half. If you've seen it, you know what I mean, and I'm not on either side of the fence on this one. It's there, it's whatever. The world building was kinda neat. It was a bit hard to accept that the whole world has just unanimously quarantined the British Isles for 28 years, and everyone is just okay with that island being full of flesh-eating monsters, but fine. There is no explanation as to why they have not sent in troops to try and clean things up, or at the very least recon or supply the survivors. All we see is that awful section in the middle of the movie where the Swedish Navy or NATO soldiers arrive. It's not like they were there sent in on an assignment or anything. They were simply patrolling the shores in their boat when they crashed the fucking thing. They are extremely incompetent at their job and only serve to get killed. In my opinion, it added nothing to the movie except an attempt at introducing the main character to the stuff he has never even heard of, like the internet for example, and it was handled very sloppily. And the ending was really weird and came bumfuck out of nowhere. We'll see where they take it. Overall, it started very strong, had great characters, great performances from the cast, a bit of a rough middle with a few clunky contrivances, but an overall pretty okay flick. One battle after another. It's about a bunch of ex-revolutionaries, or domestic terrorists more like, who have gone into hiding after a big bust took place. Now, 15 years later, they have to come out of hiding to save the daughter of one of their own. It takes a long time to get going, like the first hour felt pretty choppy and non-engaging. The political satire felt a bit too on the nose, but when it finally comes into rhythm, you can tell what they were trying to do here. It's incredibly well made and well acted throughout the whole movie. Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, and Sean Penn all deliver very strong performances. Where the cracks begin to show, however, is in the script and runtime. All the characters are extremely unlikable, and I find myself not rooting for anyone, and you really feel the movie's length towards the end. So, in summary, it is a great movie in there, but it's too long and too bloated for it to really pop, in my opinion. Naked Gun. Perfectly fine comedy. Spoof movies are the best form of comedy in my opinion. Instead of the forced quippy humor that has plagued the earth for the last decade, spoof movies require you to understand humor in order to make fun of the concept. I was worried that they would drag one of my favorite comedies through the dirt with this one, but it has the spirit of the original Leslie Nielsen movies. Some jokes don't land, but there is always a better one right around the corner. Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson is a funny comedic duo. All in all, it's short, funny, and well-made movie. Check it out if you haven't. This just gets me more excited for Spaceballs 2. As a side note on that one, it's not like there is lack of material to poke fun at when it comes to Star Wars. Warfare. This movie was tense. It's about a platoon of Navy SEALs who come under attack during a recon mission in Iraq. This movie was co-directed by Ray Mendoza, a former Navy SEAL who has been a technical advisor for several projects such as Act of Valor, Lone Survivors, even Call of Duty, The Terminal List, and so on. But now, in the director chair, in a movie depicting an event he took part in. He was part of that platoon. I feel like this is as close to the genuine article that we are going to get. This definitely has a different formula. It never felt like a movie to me. There is next to no soundtrack. You are locked in with these soldiers for the entire run, and you feel like everything on display is exactly how it went down. There is no glorification of events, if that makes sense. Hollywood didn't get their filthy hands all over it. I can definitely see how some people might consider this movie boring in a way. Huge chunks of it are just guys sitting around and relaying info over the comms. But that's what the job is. It relays the tension of the boredom without losing the tension that shit could go south at any moment. War of the Worlds. The original book and the two most famous adaptations, them being the Byron Haskin and Steven Spielberg adaptations respectively, are all about mankind's reliance on technology and that our innovations meant nothing in the greater scope of things. The Martians steamroll through our military might like it's nothing. What ends up bringing them down in the end is our planet itself. It's microorganisms, viruses, and bacteria and the like. But fuck that shit. Hacker Ice Cube and company is on the case. This was a cinematic experience like no other. The social criticism, the special effects, the performances, all top notch. This is as Kino as it gets. This of course being Pinocchio levels of bullshit. It's awful. Like impressively awful. This was approved and made by humans. Check it out if you want to have a laugh at the pure absurdity of it all. Yeah, it's an experience. Begonia. Fantastic movie. Highly recommend. Same thing as with Weapons. I went in knowing next to nothing, and that really helps. Would say the ending will make or break it for you, but great performances all around. Really great vibe and strong contender for Best Movie 2025. I know that's not saying much, but just trust me, check this one out. Nuremberg. Highly dramatized depiction of events. Still entertaining for what it is, but not something I would say is going to stick in my mind for too long. It takes its historical liberties. Some are fine and some are a bit out of place, but I would still call it a good movie in the end. Avatar. Fire and Ash. More Avatar, I guess. It's pretty to look at for 3 hours. That's about it. It has no right to be as long as it is. I'm still pissy almost 20 years later that so much good stuff was ultimately cut from the first Avatar. I'm interested in the world building, the different species interactions, learning about the fauna on Pandora and shit. They made so much lore for this universe, it's insane, only for it to barely matter in the movie. Same thing this time around, but with an added 30-minute runtime with no substance. It's basically all scenery and window dressing and could have been cut down to half its runtime for sure. The first hour works fine. It introduces some fun concepts and you're getting into it. Definitely felt like I got into this movie more than Way of Water at that point. The second hour starts to drag, but you keep up. The third hour, you just wish it to be fucking over already. I've definitely seen worse slop than this, that's for sure. This is competent slop, if that makes sense. It still made a fucking ton of money and broke the $1 billion line just short of 3 weeks. So see you in like 2030 for Avatar 4, The Search for More Money.
The search for more money.
And now to the series of 2025. Daredevil, Born Again. It started off well enough considering the absolute state of Marvel. I know you can't capture the lightning in a bottle that was the Netflix Daredevil, which is one of the best live-action comic book adaptations of all time in my book. Then it started to trail. The components are all there, but the presentation of it is off. It fell victim to tons of reshoots, and as most other shows these days do, it felt disjointed in some areas, like the plot just didn't want to get going. In my opinion, they should have gone one more round on the cutting room floor. I know I use the term trim the fat a lot, but it applies so often these days it's ridiculous. Apparently, everyone was really unsatisfied with the first cut of the show, so they brought in Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead to try and save it. They did as well as they could with the start and finish, but you still have everything that was shot to try and fit in the middle, and yeah, none of the new characters really connected with me. They are there to replace Karen and Foggy, the latter getting murked in the first 10 minutes, if they fucking commit for once. Spoilers, they won't. Everyone from the old cast still give their A-game 10 years later. Charlie Cox is still fucking awesome as Matt Murdock.
My nigga looks alpha as the fuck!
And John Berthal steals the show whenever he shows up. And let's not forget my boy Vincent This City D'Onofrio.
This city.
City. Our city. In the city here. Serves your city. Built this city. This fair city. The city is in shambles. The city is broken. Right outside of the city. New York City. The city. The city. The city never sleeps. The city. I care about this city. Like I said, I care about the city. The city is in a crisis. And this city. A city turning to a stop. The city. For the sake of the city. Ha! The city. This city. Our city. This city. The city. This city. This city. This city. Our city. New York City. Finest city.
Thank you for your service.
I will say this, it is by far the best Marvel Disney Plus show. I've said that before, but considering what other projects there are to pick from, that ain't saying much. It's like a great appetizer, a mediocre main course, with a pretty good dessert. Invincible, Season 3. A definite step up from Season 2. I like Invincible because it critiques the superhero narrative all while being the best one out there currently. It embraces the camp, which is precisely what I've been saying for years. You can make these ridiculous costumes work. You don't have to go too edgy. The drama and action are both amped up. The animation is still shoddy in some quite noticeable places, but that's secondary to all else. More of this, please. Andor. Andor Season 2, just like Season 1, is a step in the right direction. The soul has just been sucked from the franchise. Had this been released around the same time as Mandalorian, it definitely would have hit harder. We knew the movies were fucked at that point, but the shows could carry the torch. Then Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi and so on happened. Anyway, it starts off pretty weak for the first episode, but once season 2 gets going, it gets going. It's not the second coming of Jesus Christ like some fans claim, since the bar has been lowered to such a degree that just the slightest hint of quality makes them lose their minds. But I can probably say that this is the best Star Wars content to come out in a long time. It is dark, it is mature, it proves that the IP can tackle more complex themes without throwing in a lightsaber every fucking 5 minutes. The Empire and Rebels are actually competent in this show. It's reverse Flanderization, if that makes sense. I like the show, even though I really like some parts, but it's a bit fucking late to the table. It's like a neuron firing after the brain has been removed. I still can't believe that fucking Andor gets this treatment while Ewan McGregor and Tamora Morrison were thrown to the fucking wolves in their respective shows. Tales of the Underworld. They keep shocking this dead horse, even though respiratory failure occurred almost 10 years ago now. God, has this nightmare really been going on for 10 years? Anyway, Tales of the Underworld is the third installment in Dave Filoni's Tales series. First they did one with Tales of the Jedi, which I would say was fairly okay. Then they did one with the Empire, which created some big contrivances. And now we have Tales of the Underworld. First 3 episodes are focused on Empire-era Ventress just trying to get by. Still not forgetting that she fucking died at the end of Dark Disciple, but since they wanted her to appear in The Bad Batch, which takes place after the book, she was just back. They barely did anything with her in that one episode she showed up in, so there was no point. These 3 episodes show how she came back. Then she finds yet another Order 66 survivor who she helps get away from the Empire. And not only that, but a new Inquisitor as well. And all he does is show up and die. Oh, the humanity! Not an Inquisitor! I'm sure this guy will be a huge problem. Like, we're 11 minutes into the episode and we've already introduced a second Order 66 survivor. Oh my god! Why are they so useless? Couldn't they have kept him around for 3 episodes at least? Every fucking time. You have to be smoking crack if you believe completely negating the emotional impact of Dark Disciple is justified for this. The 3 other episodes were focused on Cad Bane and his origin. They were better than the first 3, I would say, but kind of unnecessary. They go for the sympathetic route with Bane, and I feel like it demystifies him. He's a gunslinging badass mercenary, only in it for the credits. That's all I need to know. Let some villains be villains. And what pisses me off the most is that instead of this origin story, just fucking finish the arc where he mentors Boba Fett, for fuck's sake. You have the animations, you have the script. No, let's do more of the fucking crack sisters. As an edit before publishing this video, Kathleen Kennedy just stepped down as the CEO of Lucasfilm.
The mission. The nightmares. They're finally over.
Well, that's the reaction for some. I'm more in the camp of Owlman levels of nihilism at this point.
It doesn't matter.
Squid Game, Season 2 and 3. I didn't catch Season 2 when it aired, and when I was about to, people said it ended on a cliffhanger and Season 3 was just a couple of months away, so I waited and binged them both. I was super worried that Season 2 and 3 wouldn't be able to match Season 1. It really didn't need a sequel, but yeah, it made a shit ton of money, so of course they needed to make more. And I would say they delivered. It's entertaining all throughout. Some plot points are rehashed a little bit, and they didn't learn from Season 1 and still included those damn VIP people who just dragged the show down. But I can live with it. Season 3 tied the story off great, but they teased a sequel, so here we go. I was pleasantly surprised this time, but will they be able to pull it off again? Who knows. Alien Earth. My initial reaction when this show was announced was, great, more fuel to this dumpster fire of a franchise, as if Alien Romulus didn't piss me off enough. Then I watched the first episode and was, to my amazement, positively surprised. The sets, just as in Romulus, are gorgeous, really nailing the Ridley Scott retro-futuristic look I've heard being called cassette futurism. Anyway, lots of exposition at the start, but it felt like Alien for the first episode. Then, just like with Romulus, it all goes to shit. Allow me to explain. The show is about a Weyland-Yutani deep space research vessel who is returning to Earth after collecting a wide range of alien specimens, among which some very familiar eggs. So naturally, one thing leads to another, a xenomorph gets loose, kills the crew, and then the ship crash lands on Earth, right in the territory of a rival company to Wei-Yu. This rival company has developed a method to transfer a human consciousness into an android body. And the first batch of these hybrids, as they call them, are made from terminally ill children, the first of which gets the codename Wendy, and the other names like Nibs or Curly, since their creator is obsessed with Peter Pan. The show tries to play this off as these children, now in adult android bodies, are now forced to grow up, even though they were not ready for it. The irony here being that Peter Pan is about children not wanting to grow up and just staying and chilling out in Neverland. Whatever. So after a bunch of shenanigans, Wendy learns to communicate with the xenomorph, and once she figures out that her creator only care about corporate profit and not her, she sets the xenomorph loose on everybody. So yeah, putting 10-year-old kids in almost invincible hybrid android bodies, oh no, I'm sure this cannot go completely bonkers. So it concludes with Wendy and the Lost Boys, with now their pet xenomorph gloating over the defeated corporate assholes, because they are the true monsters here. What a fucking bullshit direction to take an alien show. The show has more Blade Runner-esque themes, except it's garbage. The other alien organisms that are set loose are super cool and interesting, and I feel like the show leans more on them and not the xenomorph. What they should have done is just not include the xeno at all, and just name the show something else. But the alien IP is just too juicy not to ignore. So never mind that it's too tropey as all hell. These supposed super intelligent people make the dumbest possible decisions under the circumstances. Never mind that the show introduces more plot holes and unnecessary continuity issues by making another prequel, and not only that, but setting it on Earth. The real question is who? Who is this show for? It's certainly not for alien fans, I tell you that. Peacemaker, Season 2. It's good. It's even better than Season 1 in my opinion. The fact that they retconned the Justice League into the Justice Gang is hilarious to me. They don't even try to explain it away, they just handwave it, which I kinda respect. The DCEU was dead on arrival. This is the new, don't worry about it. We'll see how that ages, but that's a different story. The premise is nothing special, but the chemistry between the cast members sells it. Han är charmig alltså.
What are you with this guy for? I hate this fucking guy. This little fucking guy.
The season finale was a bit disappointing. They didn't really stick the landing in my opinion. Some segments of the final episode was just filler. But overall, I had great fun watching it.
I can't believe you didn't realize.
Jag saknar bara hans gamla superhero suit.
Ma'am, you're gonna have to come with me.
Because of the copies of Mein Kampf on every desk?
I'm gonna be this buff. I looked at books.
Or the giant fucking mural of Hitler?
Oh! Stranger Things, Season 5. Season 1 was peak, Season 2 was a bit of a retread, Season 3 was garbage, and Season 4 redeemed it, pretty much. And Season 5 did not stick the landing. The climactic scenes tried to pack some punch, but there is not much substance in them. The dialogue is insanely plot-heavy and repetitive. Every scene is either talking about defeating Vecna and using objects around the room as metaphor.
This flashlight is the Squawk radio tower.
As soon as they're asleep, we move in, we grab Derek.
He goes after Vecna.
So, I connected the dots.
This, of course, is Max.
Problem, a big one.
I can't reach inside Vecna's mind. Is there a problem?
There are a few holes.
Like, what if Derek falls asleep before the Demogorgon attacks him?
The Upside-Down lab is right under his lair, and it's still frozen in time, which means that everything should still be there from Brenner's experiments, including the bath.
Or the cast crying out to each other to try and invoke some kind of catharsis moment.
Meaningful. Lucas, when he took my hand in the hospital.
So will we. It is the only way, Jane.
And I thought I was finally okay with myself.
It feels like the characters hardly grow, and stakes are talked about, but barely have consequences. The show just sort of fizzled out. In a drawn-out sort of way. Bland. Bland is the best word to use. it didn't piss me off nearly as much as, say, the Game of Thrones finale. So, yeah, after 9 years of this show, with really high highs and really low lows, the final ending left me with a solid meh. They retconned so much in order to try and justify a mystery for this season. Like, end of season 4 was good, now we can get right into the final battle, right? No, it's a hard reset and a time skip before the final battle. You lose all the build-up from season 4, but there is a hard reason why they do it. Hard case reason why they do it. It's the scummy shenanigans by dividing the show in sections in order to keep people subscribed for longer. That's all there is to it.
Det här är troligtvis för det där fanet. Det var the last thing that fan who fell off the building saw.
Pluribus. Vince Gilligan is back, and it's a banger. The premise is wacky but interesting. Rhea Seehorn has to carry so much weight, and she does. I'm not gonna reveal its premise at all, because you owe it to yourself to experience it firsthand. Same thing as with Begonia or Weapons. Go in blind, it will greatly improve the experience and give it more punch. It's absolutely fantastic. Bravo Vince, as they say. And now we come to the final part. Best show, I would say Pluribus. Pluribus has hands down the best performances, the wackiest premise, but just best overall production value. Check that one out. Best movie. There have been several good releases, most notably Nosferatu, Formula 1, Begonia, and Warfare. But I think the best movie for me was either going to be Formula 1 or Nosferatu, and I ended up landing in the Formula 1 camp, just because of what it represents. I had no complaints, everything proceeded at a nice pace, I had a really fun time watching it. The perfect place to set the bar for what an entertaining movie should be. And that has been my movie cavalcade of 2025. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I wish you a good 2026.